Moonlight gold on my collar, taxi rain on the glass. Whole town talking too loud tonight, but I know this will pass. I got the day in my pocket, folded up with the bills. Little white noise on my shoulders, little leftover thrills. The hallway hum, the numbers glowing, your quiet world in view. Some men go looking for heaven, I just come home to you. One turn, one breath, the lock gives in so slow, and all that city weather lets me go. Night key, midnight silver, turning like a small amen. Night key, soft and simple, let me be myself again. No spotlight, no grand street, no crowd calling my name. Just this door, this floor, this forgiving frame. Night key, bring me home again. The room has nothing to prove now, chair by the lamp half lit, the kind of peace you don't notice till the whole world tightens its grip. My coat falls loose, the kettle whispers, the window dims the sky. A man can't spend his whole life running for one place not to lie. Night key, midnight silver, turning like a small amen. Night key, soft and simple, let me be myself again. No spotlight, no grand street, no crowd calling my name. Just this door, this floor, this forgiving frame. Night key, bring me home again. Maybe home is not the building, maybe home is how it feels when the noise unbuttons from you and the dark becomes unreal. Maybe mercy has a doorway, maybe grace comes dressed plain in a quiet little click at the end of a long loud day. Night key, midnight silver, turning like a small amen. Night key, warm and tender, let me be myself again. No bright bar, no backseat, no need to explain. Just this hush, this room, this familiar name. Night key, bring me home again. Yeah, this hush, this room, this old sweet frame. Night key, bring me home again. There's a light still awake by the door. Beady-the-beady-bee, All the shops have pulled their shutters. Even the traffic sounds thin. The night has folded up the avenue and let the silence in. I've worn the hours like heavy fabric, buttoned high against the cold. But from the street I see that ember glow, and suddenly I'm home. Not every love is loud and shining. Not every promise burns. Some are small as a porch light waiting till a tired body turns. A little gold against the darkness, a little yes in the air. No grand parade, no neon halo, just knowing someone's there. Porch light steady and low. You don't call, you don't demand, you just shine where the lost day ends, like a warm and open hand. Porch light, easy and true, soft on the tired and late. What a lovely kind of love you are. You stay on. You wait. Maybe that's all the heart ever wanted. Not a storm, not a flame, just a quiet light in the distance that still knows your name. And maybe that's what makes a shelter out of wood and glass and air. Someone leaves a light behind you, so you know you're welcome there. Porch light steady and low. You don't rush, you don't explain, you just glow at the edge of the dark till I feel like myself again. Porch light, gentle and true, soft as the hour is late. What a beautiful kind of love you are. You stay on. You wait. There's a light still awake by the door. The moon shining, no ceremony, just pour it fireworks to make the evening turn. No velvet rope, no famous name, no lesson left to learn. You walk in like the room was ready, like the night knew what to do. Some things don't need a grand introduction, they just taste right when they do. I've had the sparkling kind of trouble, all dressed up in gold. 100 dazzling moments that never learn to hold. But you've got that kind of mercy that settles in just fine, the kind that stays till the record ends, like a good familiar wine. House wine, poured easy, no need to impress the crowd. House wine, smooth and steady, you don't have to say it loud. A little warmth, a little glow, a little sweet decline. Some hearts chase the rare, expensive kind. I'm happy with house wine. Table small, the city's faded, the window wears the rain. You laugh and all the silverware sounds softer in my brain. There's beauty in the unremarked, in what returns each night. A bottle open without thinking it, everything sitting right. House wine, poured easy, no need to perform a pose. House wine, soft and certain, everybody worth loving knows. A little oak, a little dusk, a little borrowed time. Some loves come loud and disappear. I'll take this house wine. Poured easy, no need to impress the crowd. House wine, warm and steady, you don't have to say it loud. A little home, a little grace, a little dim gold shine. Some hearts chase the rare, impossible kind. I'm happy with house wine. Just pour it slow, let the whole night breathe. House wine, that's enough for me. There's a room down the hall, still holding its breath. I pass that door like a slow confession, like something I almost say. The house goes on with its careful noises, but that room keeps its own strange way. Curtains still know the shape of evening, floorboards remember your place. No frame still turned on the dresser, no coat left over the chair, Nothing traumatic, nothing broken, just the outline of you in the air. A little dust where the light falls slanted, a silence folded and plain. Some people leave with a storm behind them. You're left like a gentle rain. Spare room, quiet as a held note. Spare room, full of what won't go. No, I don't live there, but I know that in view, spare room still makes a little room for you. I tell myself it's an ordinary corner, wooden paint and borrowed space. But every house has a tender weakness, one small unfinished place. I could throw open the window tomorrow, move in a desk, make it new. But love has a way of staying in objects long after it's done with you. Maybe healing is not erasing, maybe peace is letting be. A door half closed in the lamplight, and the soft truth it keeps for me. Not every ache needs music, not every ghost needs proof. Some just live in the pale night air and ask for a little room. Spare room, quiet as a held note. Spare room, full of what won't go. No, I don't sleep there, but I know that view. Spare room still keeps a little room for you. Down the hall, past the door, there's a room still holding its breath. Like a distant station, the day loosens up its tide. Cars draw lines through the wet black avenue, then disappear from sight. I lean my shoulder to the cool frame and let the whole world pass. Some evenings do not ask for saving, just a little room and glass. Window blue, slow and true, putting all my restless thoughts inside. sharp-edged hours into dusk. No big news, no grand excuse, just my heart settling down in window blue. Maybe home is not the talking. Maybe home is being still. A chair, a pane, a borrowed skyline, and the time to feel what you feel. Maybe peace arrives in colors, not in words you have to choose. Just the pale and tender answer of a room washed through with blue. Window blue, calm and true, laying all my wandering thoughts beside the view. Nothing lost, nothing to do, just the whole night breathing in window blue. Blue on the window, blue in the room, blue like a heart finally making some room. Click, that's all it is. Just a little sound, and the whole night changes. I wear my smile like city tailoring, pressed and clean and neat. Take the weather in my shoulders, bring the traffic in my feet. Every hallway has its language, every room its private code. But I know the one small music that unfastens all the load. One hand on the brass, one breath in the dark, then the world outside loses its spark. Latch, let the whole day fall back, let the noise stay out where it belongs. Latch, tiny silver soundtrack to a room that's been waiting all along. No speeches, no drama, no need to attach, just the soft little mercy of a latch. The lamp is low, the floor is honest, the kettle knows its cue. My coat gives up its borrowed confidence the minute I step through. Funny how the smallest motion can undo the hardest act. All that pride, all that posture, outdone by one small click. Latch, let the whole day fall back, let the noise stay out where it belongs. Latch, tiny silver soundtrack to a room that's been waiting all along. No bright bar, no backseat, no midnight dispatch, just the soft little mercy of a latch. Maybe peace is not a grand thing. Maybe peace is just this much: a door, a pause, a hush, a shadow, and a kindly bit of touch. Maybe home is not the building. Maybe home is that exact little sound between the leaving and the finally coming back. Latch, let the whole day fall back. Let the noise stay out where it belongs. Latch, small and steady soundtrack to a heart that's been holding on too long. No glory, no headlines, no glitter to catch, just the old sweet language of a latch. Click, and the whole room breathes. Latch, that's enough for me. Sun through the curtains, coffee in the air. No one's in a hurry, not a single thing to wear. The clock can keep its opinions, the phone can lose my name. There's a kindness in a slow room that asks for nothing changed. Slippers making soft confession across the kitchen floor. The day is barely even breathing, and I don't need much more. A little dust in the sunlight, a record turning low. The kind of peace that never enters when you've got somewhere to go. No grand event, no perfect picture, no clever line to prove. Just the table, just the window, just the house in a gentle mood. Sunday soft, falling through the blinds. Sunday soft, taking its sweet time. No bells, no rush, no hard edge left, just the light laid thin and warm. If love has a quiet way of speaking, it sounds like Sunday soft. I let the kettle make the small talk, the hallway where it's hush. Outside the city keeps on spinning inside. I've given up the rush, and every ordinary object seems kinder than before. A chair, a mug, an open doorway, life I don't ignore. Maybe happiness is never louder than a room that lets you rest. Maybe grace looks half awake with sunlight leaning on your chest. Maybe home is not a headline. Maybe home is just this thought that for one slow morning you already have enough. Sunday soft, golden and unplanned. Sunday soft, easy as your hand. No race to win, no role to play, no weather to outrun. If peace knows how to dress itself, it comes like Sunday soft. nothing I need to solve, just the whole wide world outside. And this Sunday song, these old walls, they don't speak, but they know there's a shade of evening on the plaster, like it's always been this way. A softness in the worn out corners where the light decides to stay. No, this house was never built for showing, it was made for living through. And every mark along these quiet walls feels a little bit like you. Old walls holding up the years, old walls keeping little souvenirs of laughter in the doorway, of shadows down the hall. Funny how a heart can find its shape inside old walls. The pain has faded into patience, the frames have changed their names, but time is kind to certain places, it leaves behind its flame. I swear the air still bends a little where your coat once brushed the room. And every evening here grows gentler, like the house remembers too. Old walls holding up the years, old walls keeping little souvenirs of late night conversation and footsteps when they'd fall. Funny how a life can learn to breathe inside old walls. Maybe love is not believing, maybe love is what remains in the grain of wood, the turn of silence, in the weather of a place. Maybe memory needs a shelter, more than words or photographs, somewhere quiet enough to keep it after everything has passed. Old walls holding all I knew, old walls keeping traces out of view, of hands upon frame set small and warm. Funny how a soul can still feel safe inside old walls. These old walls, they don't speak, but they know. Draw the line, set the frame, make a little room for my name next to yours. You said the window ought to face the morning, I said the table needs the light. You want a chair where the rain can find us, I want the record stacked just right. Funny how a dream gets practical when it starts to sound this real. 4 plain walls and a pencil outline, and a heart that knows the deal. Not marble, not gold, not some grand design, just enough room for your life and mine. Floor plan, baby, draw me in, leave a little space for the days we haven't lived. Floor plan, simple as can be, a door, a lamp, a couch, a key, and you right next to me. We don't need a palace, we just need the shape of a love that knows where things belong. Floor plan, take my hand and make a home. Maybe the kitchen should stay wide open, maybe the hallway should run slow, maybe a small blue room for winter, maybe a place where the plants can grow. You laugh and move the world an inch, like it's easy as breathing air. And suddenly the future doesn't scare me, if I can picture you in there. No skyline view, no famous address, just a life laid out in tenderness. Floor plan, baby, draw me in, leave a little space for the days we haven't lived. Floor plan, neat as a melody, a door, a lamp, a couch, a key, and you right next to me. We don't need perfection, we just need a place where the evening lays its jacket down. Floor plan, turn this hope into a home. And if the years come in like weather, we'll shift the furniture around. Make room for joy, make room for sorrow, keep the good dishes, paint the town. Every love needs more than sparks, it needs a floor beneath the feet, a little faith in where to stand and where two lives can meet. Floor plan, baby, draw me in, leave a little space for all the years we haven't lived. Floor plan, clear as a memory, a door, a lamp, a couch, a key, and you right next to me. We don't need forever written out in stone, just a quiet map with both our names. Floor plan, take my hand and make it home. Draw the line, set the frame, leave a little room for love to Two plates, one light, that's enough tonight. The room is small, the city's distant, cut down to a quiet hum. A little steam above the glasses, a little evening settling in. No need for silver-lined in grandeur, no candle trying to perform. You pull your chair in close and suddenly the whole world feels warm. Table for two, that's all I ever needed. A little light, a little time, and somewhere soft to land. Table for two, with your hand near my hand. Who needs a grander kind of love than this small, steady plan? The window holds the last of traffic, the record leans into the air. You laugh and every ordinary object looks better sitting there. A meal can turn into a memory before the plates are cleared. Funny how the heart grows quiet when the right voice is near. Table for two, that's all I ever needed. A little grace, a little room, and one familiar face. Table for two. At the end of the day, who needs a brighter kind of dream than love set out this way? No ballroom, no skyline, no crowd to make it shine. Just a chair, just a glance, just your life beside mine. Table for two, that's all I ever needed. A little home, a little hush, and your sleeve brush in mine. Table for two, simple, sweet, and true. Who needs a louder kind of world when I can come home to you? Two plates, one light, and the whole night sitting right. Handle in my hand, ticket in my coat, same old leaving song. I've learned how to fold a week in silence into a case with a broken zip. A couple shirts, a book half finished, and all the names I never quite slipped. Stations make philosophers of strangers, windows make liars of the brave. You say you're only chasing daylight, but you pack what you hope to say. A suitcase song rolling down the hall. Suitcase song, you know the sound of going at all, but every wheel, every buckle, every strap pulls strong. still hums a little home in a suitcase song. Hotel lamps all glow with manners, every key looks clean and kind, but there's no room in borrowed ceilings for the weight I leave behind. A man can toast to every skyline, call each new street his own, still the heart keeps one small address it never fully leaves alone. Suitcase song, easy on the move. Suitcase song, trying to look like there's nothing to lose, but every road, every midnight, every ride too long turns back into home in a suitcase song. Never made for staying, maybe I was built to roam, but every map I open in the lamplight finds some quiet way back home. Maybe leaving has its music, maybe longing has it too. A little rhythm in the wheels at night, a little ache that pulls you through. Suitcase song, soft against the floor. Suitcase song, I've heard your tune 100 times before, and every town, every doorway, every dust gone wrong still leans toward one light in a suitcase song. Yeah, every mile I carry on carries me back home in a suitcase song. In my hand, key still in my coat. Same old leaving, same old road home. Evening settles, step by step, soft on the rail, soft on the breath. I like the hour when the houses soften, when the windows start to glow, when the street gives up its little hurry and the whole block starts moving slow. I take a seat where the day falls lighter, one hand resting on the wood. Nothing grand in the air this evening, just the kind of quiet that does you good. Somewhere a screen door closes gently, somewhere a radio plays low. The light goes blue around the hedges and gold where the porch lights show. I've spent enough of my life in motion, running hard through the noise and heat. Now I trust what the dust keeps saying from a simple set of steps and street. Front steps, holding the end of the day. Front steps, letting the hurry drain away. No crowd, no call, no place to be, just the evening leaning easy on me. Front steps, that's all the world I need. never distant. Maybe peace is right out here, in the sound of someone watering roses, in the cool of the changing air. Maybe home is not the inside only. Maybe home is this in between, where the heart sits down with the summer dark and lets itself go still and clean. Front steps, holding the end of the day. Front steps, letting the hard light fade away. No grand goodbye, no mystery, just the night coming on so tenderly. Front steps, that's all the world I need. Front steps, that's all the world I need. Evening settles step by step, soft on the rail, soft on the breath. By the door, that time of year again. There's a little more dusk in the window now, a little more steam in the air. The trees have traded all their bright talk for silhouettes laid bare. I come in carrying weather in the wool and in the seams, and the house meets me without a question, like it's been expecting me. Coat season, hanging by the hall, coat season. First cool evening of them all, a little chill in the sleep, a little gold in the room. The world gets sharp, the house gets kind in coat season. The keys go down, the kettle answers, the floor knows where I've been. There's something sweet about a tired coat, giving up the night it's been in. Outside the wind keeps practicing its thin and silver tune. Inside the lamps make small warm promises that settle over the room. Coat season, hanging by the wall, coat season. Softest hour of all, a little rain in the cuff, a little hush in the gloom. The streets grow cold, the heart leans home in coat season. Every year I need this turning, that first breath of winter near, to remember how good a room can feel when the weather changes gear. Maybe love is partly made of rituals, done so often they disappear. Like dropping your coat here in the kettle and knowing you're safe in here. Coat season, hanging by the hall, coat season. Gentle as the evening fall, a little frost in the air, a little fire in the room. The whole world cools, the soul comes in coat season. Coat season. Cold on the collar, warm by the once more. Glass is half empty, chair slightly turned, the room exhaling, the laughter still a little in the curtains, a little in the silver and the air. Ghost of perfume by the doorway, a shape of voices everywhere. The candles gave up hours ago, the records down to static and dust. Now the house comes back to itself in the way that houses must. Beauty in the almost aftermath, the loosened napkin, folded plate, the small fatigue of being gracious, giving way to something late. I gather up the quiet slowly, set each borrowed brightness down, till the room is only lamplight, and my footsteps moving round. No more stories crossing over, no more sparkling in the glass, just the soft return of stillness as the evening finally lands. After company, when the room gets honest again. After company, when the night comes closer in, no crowd, no show, no need to shine, just the table, the dark and me. There's a tender kind of peace after company. After company, when the house speaks low again. After company, when the air grows whole again. No clever line, no final toast, just a hush that sets me free. There's a certain kind of home after company. Glass is half empty, one lamp left on. The room exhaling till the night is gone. White ceiling, low light, moon, a night away. There's a habit to the dark around this hour. It leans in close but doesn't press. The room goes still enough to hear the distance between my breathing and my chest. No audience, no polished conversation, no clever rescue left to find. Just the ceiling taking in the questions. Ask out loud in daytime. Ceiling talk, soft above my head. Ceiling talk for the things that never get said. Not a prayer, not a plan, just the truth when the world goes dim. Ceiling talk, letting the silence in. I trace the cracks like little roads in winter, going nowhere I can aim. Funny how the smallest thoughts grow larger when the room forgets your name. The day was full of useful interruptions, bright excuses, borrow road speed. But the night is gentle hands for sorting what I wanted from what I need. Maybe peace is not an answer. Maybe peace is just this space to lie here with the half-formed feelings and not rush to give them shape. Maybe home is where the mind grows quieter, not because it's solved or done, but because the dark can hold it kindly till the morning comes undone. Ceiling talk, soft above my head. Ceiling talk for the lines I never said. No parade, no defense, just the hush and the outline of it all. Ceiling talk when the whole night leans close. Low light, one more night, all mine. I used to think home was a dorm light. Now I know better. I've had addresses by the dozen, keys that never quite fit right, windows facing borrowed skylines, beds that could not hold the night. I wore out miles and made acquaintances with every street I wandered through, but none of them ever felt like staying till the day they led to you. You laugh and all the hard edges fade. You look my way and the whole world rearranges. Your place, that's where my heart goes quiet. Your place where all the restless settles down. Not the walls, not the view, not the number on the avenue. Your place is where I finally come home to. It's in the way you move through evening, like there's no need to rush the air. In the way your name turns ordinary rooms into somewhere I can stay. No grand design, no perfect timing, no masterpiece of polished grace, just your hand finding mine at random and the whole world becoming place. Your place, that's where my heart goes easy. Your place where all the noise loses its claim. Not the town, not the street, not the blue lamp by the window seat. Your place is where I learn the shape of peace. Maybe that's the secret of it, why some love survive the storm. They don't dazzle like a skyline, they just keep a body warm. Maybe home was always human, maybe shelter had your face. Maybe I was only searching for the kindness in your space. Your place, that's where my heart stays open. Your place where every long day comes undone. Not the roof, not the frame, not the little brass beside your name. Your place is where I finally belong. Yeah, your place is where I finally come home to. I used to think home was somewhere you get to. Now I know it looks like you. Paper dust laid light, boxes breathing in the room. I found a receipt from a winter grocery. Tea and orange is nothing more, a note in the margin of a phone bill, folded twice in a kitchen drawer. Funny what survives the moving, not the speeches, not the grand goodbyes, just the paper thin little evidence of ordinary life. at the corner bending, a laugh caught halfway out of frame, a postcard sent to the old apartment before the streets around it changed. Every box becomes a quiet witness, every stack a tender archive, proof that love was often simple and still somehow alive. Paper rooms made of lists and letters, paper rooms. Paper rooms holding little bits together, names, dates, coffee stains, blue ink. Afternoons we wandered through, how a life keeps making room inside paper rooms. There's a softness to these small remains now, nothing urgent left to prove. Just the light across the cardboard and the dust the window moves. I could throw half of this away tomorrow, still some things would linger on, because a room once lived inside these pages, long after the room is gone. Paper rooms made of notes and weather, paper rooms. Paper rooms keeping scattered days together, maps, lines, snapshots, grocery ink. Little things we never knew would outlast the walls themselves in paper rooms. Paper dust laid light, boxes breathing through the night. After the midnight, after the dishes, after the day has finally let go, there's a hush that only houses know. Past the last lamp, past the final cup, a board gives in with a careful answer. Somewhere above, then nothing much. The walls don't close, they only listen. The dark sits down and stays polite, and every little sound grows tender in the upstairs quiet. No need to name it, no need to move, just let the stillness settle through. Upstairs quiet, soft as a hand on air. Upstairs quiet, like someone gentle passing there. Not lonely, not loud, just the kind of peace you notice when the whole world thins into upstairs quiet. A door clicks shut like a minor promise. A floor sighs once, then disappears. The house is full of almost music, half of memory, half of ears. I've chased my rest through neon evenings, through too much talk and borrowed light. But nothing mends a restless heartbeat like the upstairs quiet. Maybe comfort isn't silence. Maybe comfort is this kind. A living room gone dim below you. A human trace still left behind. Maybe home is made of distances, small enough to feel, not fear. A little space, a little breathing, and the sense that someone's near. Upstairs quiet, soft as a hand on air. Upstairs quiet, like a dream still walking there. No headlines, no hurry, just the kind of grace that enters when the hour gets thin. Through upstairs quiet. After midnight, after the day, the whole house breathing, far away. Back to the kitchen, where we know how to talk. We've been standing in separate weather, in the same old house too long. You by the window, me by the doorway, both of us careful, both of us wrong. But the kettle's got its old persuasion, and the chairs still know our names. Funny how a room can keep a language when the people misplace the same. Back to the kitchen, back where the light stays low. Back to the kitchen, where the small things start to show. A cup, a glance, a half-heard laugh, a hand against the sink. Sometimes love comes back in pieces before the words can think. I say something about the weather, you say the rain came hard at night. Not exactly a grand confession, but it sounds a little like trying. The spoon against the mug keeps time like it's done 1,000 nights. And the silence stops being a distance, starts starts being room for getting right. Back to the kitchen, back where the hurt gets small. Back to the kitchen, where we don't need much at all. Ooh, a dish, a chair, your sleeve near mine, the radio humming low. Sometimes love finds its way home slowly in the only room we know. Some dramatic scene, just a counter catching lamplight and a place to set down what we mean. Maybe grace is not a thunder, maybe grace is practice small in the simple art of turning back when pride has hit the wall. Back to the kitchen, back where the light stays low. Back to the kitchen, where the small things start to show. A cup, a glance, a half-heard laugh, a hand against the sink. Sometimes love comes back in pieces before the words can think. Oh, back to the kitchen, back where the room stays kind. Back to the kitchen, where we leave the noise behind. No grand fix, no final speech, just the night and something true. Sometimes home is where two people learn to start anew. Come on, back to the kitchen. We still know what to do. No more running, no more bright excuses, just this room and a heart gone quiet. I've known the sound of leaving well enough, the coat, the key, the midnight train. I've let the city keep me half awake and called that living through the rain. But every road grows tired of proving what it cannot really change, and every restless soul goes looking for a little place to stay. Not a crown, not a name, not a skyline lit in gold, just a door, just a hand, just somewhere the heart can fold. The night has found its window. Stay like the weather found these. Stay like a tired song at last, finding where it wants to breathe. No more drifting room to room, no more turning love away. All I ever was a place to stay. Now the lamp throws gold on ordinary things that share the book, the cooling tea. And None of it is asking to be beautiful. It's simply here and letting me be. There's mercy in a quiet ceiling. There's grace in footsteps down the hall. Funny how the heart stops bargaining when it finally has it all. Maybe home was never something waiting at the end of miles. Maybe home was built in moments, softened by familiar smiles. Maybe peace is not a promise. Maybe peace is what remains when the world has spent its thunder and you're still here just the same. Stay like the dark has found its candle. Stay like the winter found its fire. Stay like a long lost part of me has finally stepped out of desire. No more borrowed blue horizons, no more roads that fade to gray. All I ever really needed was a heart, a room away to stay. No more running, no more proving, just this hush and you, and this place to stay.